There are all kinds of habits, good and bad. Mostly people have bad habits, just being honest. But call me biased, I like to think that preppers would tend to have some good habits that will keep them safe and ready to help themselves and others in an emergency. So let's take a look at some good habits to have if you're a prepper, in no particular order. Number one, keep your devices charged. I know, not what you might be expecting, but the reality is that if you live in an industrialized society, odds are you have at least a cell phone. So it stands to reason that you would want to keep your device or devices charged at all times, and that you would also want to have a means of charging them wherever you go. Number two, keep that fuel tank full. You would think it goes without saying, but at no time should your tank be more than half empty. Try to make it a habit to consider half a tank as an empty tank, so that if there was ever an emergency, you don't have to worry about your vehicle running dry. Number three, work out, exercise regularly. Take opportunities to stay fit. A healthy body will serve you well during an emergency, particularly cardio and endurance training, just in case you have to cover long distances on your own and under your own power. Number four, know what's going on in your area. Be aware of what's going on in the news, particularly on a local level. Have an ear to the ground so that you can have a heads up for any major natural or unnatural disasters or occurrences that you may have to face day to day. Remember, knowledge is power. Number five, keep an EDC handy. Do you have an everyday carry bag? You probably should. Keep it handy wherever you go so that you can have access to the things that you might need in a pinch. Make sure your bag is suited to you and your needs. Number six, have a bug out bag where you can get to it. Do you have a bug out bag handy? You should, and it should be someplace safe and ready to go at a moment's notice. And just like with the EDC, it should be suited to you and your needs depending upon where you live and where you might be going. Number seven, always carry some cash. We're being pushed closer and closer to a cashless society under the illusion of convenience. But if there were some emergency or some disaster that caused the grid to go down, or at least for electronic transmissions to fail, then all those credit and debit cards are pretty much useless. Always have some cash handy so that you don't get stuck in those situations. Number eight, always be armed. You should always have some way of defending yourself. I really believe that everyone should be armed somehow. Carry a sidearm. If you can't, have a good knife on you. Something to defend yourself or someone else if need be. I completely do not prescribe to the fantasy of waiting for someone to rescue me. There are too many dead people who felt that way. Number nine, be aware. Be aware of your surroundings. Have situational awareness. Have a feel for what's going on around you. Watch the people. Watch the vehicles that pass you by. Look around every once in a while. Know who's behind you. If you're in a store and the door opens, glance over for a moment. Always have some idea of what's going on. And number 10, keep the buddy system. That is to say, always have at least one person that you can trust who knows where you are just in case something happens to you. Then you'll know you have someone you can rely on that can try and track you down. I know this sounds like something you would want to tell your kid, but it's good sound advice for an adult as well. There should always be one reliable person who has an idea of where you might be. And come on, if you've been watching these videos long enough, you know that's not the end of it, because I always like to throw you a bone. There's always at least one more point that needs to be made. Call it number 11 if you will. Try to learn something useful every day. I say this all the time to remember that you are your own best prep. Think MacGyver. If you got stuck out in the open with absolutely nothing but your wits, could you get by? I hope that you can. Again, knowledge is power, so be powerful. If you have any comments pertaining to the video, please do post it in the comment section down below. I do try and answer as many as I can. For those of you who are not aware, I also have another channel that has more socially oriented content called Coffee Talk. If you would like to check that channel out, I will put a link in the description down below. If you would like to help out the channel, there is also a PayPal link in the description down below. Every little bit is always appreciated. Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notifications button if you are a subscriber so that you will be alerted as to when new content comes out, because YouTube does not care if you know or not. They love sanctioning my videos and redirecting my subscribers. So that being said, as always, stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.